Hello, everyone. How's it going? Happy Wednesday. I hope you guys had or are having a great week so far. Today, I did my first bike ride of the season because I finally got my replacement winter tire for my bike, and it is a real sketch riding over ice and slush and like ice indents of bike tires. And I definitely went back and forth between the bike lane and the sidewalk because there were points where the bike lane was just too treacherous to actually ride on. And so it's real sketchy. It takes a long ass time, but it was fun. I was proud of myself for actually doing it. Hey Gary, how's it going? We have friends. How fun. Hi Anastasia. Oh, you ducked out of BC's live? Thank you. That's so nice. Hi, Lisa. Here we are for part 2. Woohoo. Hi, Lori and Monica. Woohoo. Thanks for being here, guys. I'm very excited for part 2. Let me get the video up. If you were not here for our last video, the part 1 of this, we got to 4 minutes and 15 seconds. Let me put it on the exact right time. Where the father of Fraser Brooks, famous MLM coach, this younger man here, that's Simon, he's telling us about how he follows up with people, what he does after he calls them on the phone. Okay, so he joined in the late 80s and he calling prospects on the phone. They agree to look at some information. And then he's talking to Fraser about how he follows up with them. So it's totally fine if you didn't watch part 1. You don't need to. It's just picking up where we left off, but you didn't miss anything super important. Hey Amanda, how's it going? Yes, the most stage interview ever. So I'm ready. I'm going to do my best to actually let them talk for longer than 20 seconds at a time. And let's get started. Woohoo. Oh yeah, and there's also story. He was also talking about Simon's story, how he started in network marketing, and there was a person named Alex who like defrauded Simon, and she gave Simon a check to buy the products for her, and then the check bounced, and Simon was out like 3,000 pounds or something. Pretty outrageous. Okay, let's start.
To them for them to read it and for them to give me a call back. Now, I realized for me to call everyone back would be a nightmare. So I needed to put a system in place where I got those people, I gave them a hook to ask them to give me a call back. So let's talk this person called John. And I'm speaking to him on a Monday because the business to business in the mail was on a Monday. Right. So I said, okay, John, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you all the documents that you can make an intelligent decision whether you think it's going to be for you or not. Does that sound fair?
Magic.
Then he turns around, yeah. Okay. Now, if I send it to you on a Monday, put it in the post on Monday, it will then get to you by at least Wednesday. You can then spend, let's say, Wednesday evening going through it all. Could you give me a call back, John, on Thursday afternoon or evening, which is best for you? Oh, it would have to be, by the time I get in from work, it would have to be an evening. Okay, let's say 6:24. Does that sound fair?
Always so specific.
Yeah. He said, yeah. Now I said, John, when you...
So he's talking about he has a prospect who agreed to receive something from him in the mail, and he's putting in this system to make sure they call back. He's like, I'm going to put the information about the company in the mail. You're going to get it in 2 days, and I'm going to call you back at 6:24. Does that sound fair? And that's just like how Eric Worre teaches us about how we need to be very specific when we're talking to our prospects, when we're planning follow-up. We can't just say, oh, I'll call you back, you'll call me back whenever. You have to be specific or else it will never happen. And he's asking the prospects to call back, but he is going to have kind of like a backup plan in the likely case that they just ignore him and don't call back. So they're supposed to call back after they've had a chance to review the materials that Simon's going to put in the mail. It is hard to cringe. So it's easier to understand. I try really hard to let it play for a little bit, but it's really hard. Good evening. Coming in after a teeth cleaning. Hello, Neil. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. What system did you put in place? He mentioned systems, but he does not explain. He will explain in a little bit. He does have an interesting system. Something from part one, the utter adoration on Frazer's face as he talks to his dad, who has done nothing more than make a cushy living as a financial predator. So special. It's nice for a son to adore his father, to respect his father, but you're right. He's not talking about what a great dad Simon was, or like Fraser has a new baby at this point apparently, and he's not saying, "Oh, my dad is such an amazing grandfather." He's talking about how Simon was able to, in my opinion, manipulate thousands of people, so Simon can buy beautiful homes and cars for his family while the people below him are suffering.
Call me back. Can you please put in your notes? I would like to offer you a business proposition. Give him a hook. Otherwise, why is
a business proposition? So when he's like, when you call me back, put in your notes, I want to offer you a business proposition. Like, that's not sketchy. When I hear that, I would think of drugs. I'd be like, do you want me to sell drugs for you? What are you talking about?
You're going to call me back? Oh, yeah. I definitely will. Okay. Now, did they all call me back? No.
No, yeah, of course.
So what did I do? Do I just leave them and forget them? Never.
Yeah, always follow up. Yeah.
Always follow up. So, but this is the question that I asked them. So let's go. 6:24 was the callback time. So I'm going to leave it around about 10 minutes. So I will phone him back and say, John, I'm really, really sorry if you try to call me. I was just manic. My phone was rammed. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. It wasn't rammed. No. He didn't have a clue because he never phoned.
Because you know he didn't call.
So I said, but what I was going to say, John, is if it's a fit for you, if you like what you saw, I'm going to give you a proposition. Now, you've not called me back. So I need to ask you a favor. Would you go through the information and would you give me a call back tomorrow evening? Let's go 6:27. Does that sound fair?
Why are we so specific with the callback? So first we ask him to call us back at 6:24. We give him 10 minutes. We pretend that, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I must have missed your call. My phone was ringing off the hook, even though we didn't. Like, he didn't call us, and we know he didn't call us. And then, oh, well, I assume you didn't watch it. So how about you look it over, and I call you back tomorrow. You call me back tomorrow at 6:27. And I'm going to give you a business proposition. So first off, why are we lying to our prospects, telling them that, oh, our phone was ringing off the hook when we know they didn't call us? And why are we dictating when someone will be able to get around to calling us back, right? Because like what Lisa said here, only today's MLM reps send a link to a video and get a commitment on when they'll watch it, which I don't really like, because we all have different things going on in our lives. We may think that 6:30, we can get back to it at 6:30, that's a reasonable thing. And then shit comes up. Maybe I forget, maybe I'm tired, and I feel like we should be able to just get back to them when we're able to. I think it's fine to get a general idea of when someone may or may not be able to watch it, but I don't like the idea that apparently Simon was giving his prospects only 10 minutes after the time they said they were going to call him, to call them back and say, hey, did you look at my materials? I have a proposition for you. Something I wonder as well is, back in this time, they were mailing the materials. So how much money were MLM reps putting into mailing out these materials to have people just ghost them and never call them back? That's a whole other expense that today's MLM reps don't have to worry about. Yeah, you'll hear in a little bit, Monica, he's going to talk about how he's in Dubai with his kid, his grandkid, his wife, and he's still focused on his business. Hi, Nelkita. It's so nice to see you. Thank you for joining. So awesome. I can't stand harassment on social media from tons in today's technology. Imagine this by phone. Exactly. Oh, okay. Let's keep going.
And eventually they're gonna call you back.
Yeah.
And obviously so here's the thing that I want people to know about this, though, is when the phone had called.
Yeah.
You'd made notes.
Mhm.
You had these diligent notes, copious notes.
Yeah.
You said, right?
Mhm.
And then when the phone went down and someone said, "I want the information,"
Mhm.
it wasn't what it is now. Of I'm going to send you a link.
No.
I'm going to invite you to a Zoom presentation.
No.
Zoom wasn't even a thing.
No.
Zoom was you Zoom fast.
That was when a car went past.
Right, went past when Zoom. Right,
Yeah.
it was a noise. It wasn't an
Yeah.
app. It wasn't a technology.
No.
So I remember we would go into the dining room. Right, it started at Phillips Lane because
Mhm.
Dad went from all these different houses, just kept leveling up, climbed the property ladder. But
Yeah.
put it that way, different dining room, right? A different dining room every time. But there was 7 or 8 stacks of paper, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Sometimes it was like this high, super, super high.
Mm.
And each stack had a piece of paper on it, didn't it?
Yeah.
Like information page 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you just put them in like a black folder. Remember the black Go
Black
Global
folder.
folder or whatever it was? You
Yeah.
probably still got one of them floating around. And then you would put it in an envelope. I still remember all this. And you put it in an envelope. You would write their address on because now you've got it. Flipping it. People don't get people's address anymore. You get his name, his email, his phone number, and his full address with his postcode and everything. It's crazy. And the name of his kids and all that.
Yeah.
So you then go to the post office. You send 3, 4, 5 of these a day.
Yeah.
Some could get lost. The dog could eat some of them.
Mm.
They did. Oh, yeah. The dog ate it. I'm sorry about that. And now it's so much easier. But still, you recruited 524 people in a 10-year period paying £2,500.
I didn't know how to stop.
You didn't know how to stop. So what do you feel has created that mindset? Because obviously the people watch.
He's talking about how much work it was back in that time when you had to like talk to someone and collect as much information as you could instead of just stalking their social media page. And then he would have to go to the post office. You probably have to pay for gas to actually get there. And then you are paying for the postage. And then he recruited however many Frazer just said, 500 and something to join him with an entry fee of like $2,000 for £3,000. And he's going to say later, he insinuates, if my father was able to recruit this many people back in the 80s with such a high entry price, then there's no reason that you can't be recruiting people too, because it's just so easy. We can just send a link, or we can just set up a Zoom call, and we don't need to mail out the info anymore. We can just tell people online. But it was, in my mind, it's easier to recruit people into a sketchy ass MLM company in the late 80s when there was no internet in the late 80s, right? Yeah, no internet. And it was not easy to do research on unethical business practices in the late 80s. Maybe you could go to a library, but it's not readily available to you like it is now. They're like a father-son team of carnival grifters. I wonder how many people quit on him and how many more people he recruited over time. Exactly. It's great that you recruited over 500 people, sure, but how many of those quit? How many of those are you constantly replacing? Because we know people don't stay in MLM for very long unless you're one of the lucky ones who actually make their way up to the top of the pyramid and make a crap pile of money.
And listening to this, a lot of them need, it's mindset and skill set, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you've got a bulletproof mindset and you've got really strong skills, you're going to get the jet set. You're just going to win. It's inevitable.
If you have the skill set and the mindset, you're going to get the jet set. You're just going to win. It's inevitable. No, sir. If it's inevitable for everyone to win in network marketing, why aren't you still in the industry? Why did you leave the industry to coach instead? Sir, if it's so inevitable to win, why, I've said this before, why is your father, who's a senior, still working in MLM if it's so lucrative? I do understand that lots of people like to work until they're older. I said the same point about Bill Britt, who worked until his late 70s, and people did bring up the fact that like grandparents and their great grandparents worked until an old age because they loved it, right? But I just wonder, for the people in Amway, for Simon, is it because they just love it so much, or is it because maybe the income is not as great as they make it seem to be? And maybe if certain people in Simon's downline leave and they bring their downline with them, then his income is negatively impacted by that. And so even if you're at the top of the company, if there's changes to the comp plan, if certain people leave, Simon's income can be greatly impacted. Yes, this hamster wheel of recruitment must have been huge. Exactly.
Mindset is the foundation. What would you say to the people listening and watching? what's been some of the things that you've implemented in your in day-to-day life, or what's some of the things that you do that just allows you to be the most consistent person I know? Because you're obsessed.
Yeah.
Maybe that's,
well, even though we're here with you in Dubai,
mm-hmm.
I'm still thinking about my business. I'm still doing messages and everything else. I permanently prospect people. Now, I'm very, very strong using WhatsApp. I think WhatsApp.
He's strong using WhatsApp.
That was made for network marketing.
100% was. 100%.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, I am convinced Mark Zuckerberg is a network marketer.
Yeah.
Because he's created his goal. He created Facebook.
Yeah.
And the goal for that was to connect the world.
Yeah.
Duh. That's network marketing.
Yeah.
Connect the world. Then he creates this other goal with groups. I want to connect the world to a community. Network marketing, greatest community there is.
Yeah.
Right? It's made for it. But okay, so you use WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Why do you use WhatsApp?
Because when I send a message to people on what
he's in Dubai, he's with his son, his grandchild, his wife, and instead of just being present with his family, he is always prospecting. He said he permanently prospects. And yeah, Monica, you read my mind. Yeah, he's in Dubai with his family and he's not able to just enjoy himself. And I do think Frazer does live in Dubai, right? And so Frazer still might be working, but Simon does not live in Dubai with Frazer, and he should be enjoying himself with his family, but instead he's always prospecting. If this is an industry of residual income, why are we always prospecting when we're on a brilliant vacation with our family and our new grandchild? He does make me feel slimy as well. And they're going to talk about how brilliant WhatsApp is for network marketing. And what do we think about did Mark Zuckerberg also create WhatsApp? Because Fraser was saying Mark Zuckerberg is a network marketer because he created Facebook, and the mission of Facebook is to connect the world, just like network marketing. And I'm like, no, let's look it up. Did Mark Zuckerberg create WhatsApp? Okay, what is he talking about? WhatsApp was founded in February 2009 by John Acton and Jan Koum, former employees of Yahoo. A month earlier, after Koum purchased an iPhone, he and Acton decided to create an app for the App Store. Okay. He didn't. Okay, Mark Zuckerberg did not make WhatsApp. Facebook bought WhatsApp for $19 billion nearly a decade ago. Okay, so Mark owns it, but he did not create it. Okay, I stand corrected. Right? So much time freedom. So much.
WhatsApp now. I know if they've watched it because you get 2 blue ticks.
2 blue ticks.
Yeah.
So
then I know if they've sent it, if they've done it. Now people say to me, "Yeah, but I don't know many people, Simon. I've got involved." Well, okay. What about this then? You're out and about.
He's teaching us now how to get people's WhatsApp numbers. You know, WhatsApp, the messaging thing. I use that to video chat with my dad on like birthdays and Christmas and stuff because my dad doesn't have Facebook. That's the only reason I use WhatsApp. Do you guys use WhatsApp on a regular basis?
And you're seeing a plumber's van. They have a phone number on the van. Let's go English. Let's say it's 0165249, whatever. Well, you know, WhatsApp, you take the 0 off, you put a plus, you put 44, and that's a WhatsApp. Yeah. So send them a WhatsApp or call them and say, "Hey." Sorry, that's a joke. That's a joke, and I can't tell that joke.
Dad has this joke, right? He's not going to tell it this time. He's going to tell it another time, but it's... But as soon as you can't say "hey" like this because
anyway, I
saw no one watching or listening is laughing because they don't know the
joke. Haven't got a clue.
But I'll tell it to them
later,
later.
One
day.
So I would then turn around and speak to the plumber. Yeah. I saw your advertisement and I just wondered, are you open to making an additional income? Or do you just do plumbing? Full stop. Now they're going to give you an answer. They're going to say, "Oh yeah, no, I'm only into plumbing." That means they're closed-minded.
Yeah.
Then you're going to get a percentage of people that say, "Oh yeah, I'm open-minded." What do you mean? Okay, well, I've got a video I'd like to send you. Would you allow me to send you a video? It will change your life. Take 4 minutes out of your life to take the rest of your life off.
Yeah.
Does that sound fair?
There's that magic sound.
if we're new to our city and we don't know many people, the way we get WhatsApp numbers is just harass the plumbers and give them a call and say, hey, are you looking for another source of income? If the plumber says no, because they already have a well-established career as a plumber, then that means they're closed-minded and they're strange. But if they say yes, you say, great, can I send you a 4-minute video and it will completely change your life? What do we think about this form of prospecting? We're not prospecting someone because we think they'd be interested, because we think they'd be good in network marketing. We're prospecting someone because we saw their phone number on the side of a truck. That jives with Simon's description of as him. Does not surprise me that he said he's always prospecting, that he would think of just pulling a business person's number off the side of their business van and just harassing them and randomly prospecting them for network marketing. I always felt like we should be, we're taught that we should be prospecting people that we would want to work with, that we think would enjoy the products or the opportunity, not just randos on the street. Oh, Monica has the app. Lori does not use WhatsApp. I use WhatsApp to talk to a friend who doesn't have Wi-Fi. Got you. So funny, hilarious. Fraser just thinks everything his dad says is hilarious. Okay, I use WhatsApp when I'm either outside the US or I'm talking to someone outside the US. Okay, gotcha. Sporadic WhatsApp, usually when dealing with younger colleagues. Yeah, okay. Okay, so some people use it. I use it, yeah, as I said. Usually I would use like Facebook chat to talk to people like face to face. But yeah, my dad doesn't have Facebook. So that's literally the only reason I use it. But they're going to make it seem like everyone uses WhatsApp all the time. It's horrible. Insulting someone just because they say no because they're successful in their own business, like the plumber. Exactly. They're not closed-minded. Maybe they're happy where they are. And they're going to say later, if you're happy where you are, that's great. Well, no, it's not, because you just made fun of the plumber for politely saying no to you, sir. It's not funny. Like, why are you making fun of people? As soon as they get to that, it's going to change your life part, I know it was an MLM and would decline to watch it. Yes, good. In what world is a 4-minute video going to change our life? It sounds like the coaching gurus that Danielle always covers.
Again, that magic question. So, and the thing is, as I've learned over the years, and what you've taught me, is that people with the closed minds have the most open mouths.
Yeah.
So they're like, "Oh no, it sounds like one of those." Blah, 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 blah. But the people who have the open minds are like, "Yeah, I'm interested. Send me."
It's funny. It's more now in today's age that people are more open to network marketing.
100%. There's two types, aren't there? There's
people who are closed-minded are the ones who think it's a pyramid scheme. Those who are open-minded will say, oh yeah, tell me about it. So because me as a plumber, I'm happy and content where I am, I'm just closed-minded. Me thinking that an MLM is a pyramid scheme, it's not because of research and consuming other similar content as this one. It's not because of my knowledge. It's not because of facts that are backed up by like research and statistics. It's because I'm just closed-minded and I'm ignorant, right? And apparently people are more open to network marketing now than they have been in the past. Okay, let's let them get their thought out.
People who are inspired to join and people who are desperate to join.
Yeah.
You were desperate to join.
Yeah.
I was inspired by you to join. So I was like, well, he's crushed it. I can do this.
Yeah.
So during COVID, people needed to do it. Then people were crushing it in COVID. So then people were like, people are making loads of money. So that put fuel onto the fire. But now with this recession coming, people are now desperate. Like, I need to make more money. My fuel prices have gone up. Everyone's got their own reasons for doing that. So what I love about this, though, you have a very secret strategy. It's a very special strategy and hardly anyone does it. And it's very powerful. So you told me, you said that it's much easier to get someone to give you their number when you say, hey, what's your WhatsApp number?
Okay, sorry, because he's going to go into a big speech about WhatsApp. People are either desperate to join or they're inspired to join. People were desperate during COVID, and then they saw how amazing people were doing with their businesses in COVID, and then they became inspired. MLMs prosper and flourish when people are in a financially desperate place, when they're struggling mentally with their physical health, with something missing in their lives. That's when MLMs do amazingly. If someone is in a good, solid financial spot, they're not likely to join an MLM. Those are the magic words that instantly repel me. People are now desperate. Yes, because I'm noticing my grocery bill is going up and up every single week. Things that used to be like $8 are now $10. Everything, everything is more expensive. And yeah, people are desperate because they're scared that they're not going to be able to have enough money to feed their kids the food that they want to eat. Ooh, a special strategy. Tell me more. Yes, it's groundbreaking, Gary. Groundbreaking.
Instead of saying, what's your phone number?
Yeah.
Because phone number is private.
Scares people.
It does, doesn't it? It does. So, but you do something. When you get someone's number and you send them on WhatsApp, you save them and you put them into what's called a broadcast list, don't you?
Yes.
You still do this, don't you?
All the time.
All the time, right? So for those of you who are listening and watching, a broadcast list is where you put the numbers that you have in a list. You can have up to 256 people, I think, per list.
Yeah.
And when you send a message to that list, it goes, me to Simon, me to Bob, me to Mary, me to Samantha, me. And if they respond to it, it comes straight to me.
Yeah.
So it's like me sending...
but none of the others can see the message.
Yeah, so it's a private message, but you're sending it to many. It's like an email broadcast, but people don't check their emails all the time. They check WhatsApp all the time. So you find a plumber. You call this plumber. And again, people can message the plumber, or you find someone on Facebook.
Could be a decorator, could be an electrician, it could be anyone.
So the first step is, how do you generate the number? First one, you driving down, or you're in the supermarket, or you find a flyer in a shop window, whatever, you contact that person. Or you do posts on social media. Every day, you just wake up, you put a quote on, you put something on, a photo on, and anyone who comments, you don't mess around. And for those of you out there who've commented on one of my dad's posts, you will have received something where you basically look to stop messing around in the inbox, and you just basically say, message me on WhatsApp, here's my number.
Or I also do the other thing where I go to birthdays, friends' birthdays, and
He's telling us that we need to collect numbers and put them into WhatsApp so we can create a broadcast list. And they're making it sound so high tech, but you could do the exact same thing in email. You just blind CC people and you can have email lists. It's really not that challenging. It's not that high tech, but they're making it seem brilliant because apparently people don't check emails all the time, but they check WhatsApp all the time. But from you guys in the chat, see, the ones who do use WhatsApp, they use it sporadically. That's the word, right? In certain situations for only a few people here and there. I don't know if your average person uses WhatsApp all the time. Isn't it interesting how we also talked about how you get numbers, right? Oh, like you find a decorator on Facebook. We're told about a plumber. You find a flyer in a store window, and then you get their WhatsApp number. Or if he makes a post on Facebook, someone interacts with it. He'll say, "Oh, what's your WhatsApp number? I'm going to send you a message." Like he wants it in WhatsApp for some strange reason. It's very interesting that he will say, "What's your WhatsApp number?" Because then like that person could easily ignore them. That person could just not give him the number. And it kind of puts the control back in the hands of the prospect, in my opinion. When you're the most vulnerable, that's when they pounce. Exactly, Monica, exactly. What do you do if the person says, I don't use that app? What's plan B then? Exactly. Lots of people don't use it. I don't use WhatsApp because I don't have to talk to people. Because I don't have to talk to people that can't find me. Exactly. And I get a lot of like scammy messages on there. Hello, I am recruiting for this special job opportunity. I just block it immediately. I'm like, you're sketchy. You're probably wanting my like social insurance number, and then you're gonna steal my identity.
I send the birthday message regarding.
Oh, Anastasia, have you been here? Have I said hi to you? I hope I didn't ignore you. Hi, Anastasia. It's lovely to see you. Sorry if I already said hi and I forgot.
the opportunity. You know, I have an opportunity. I've got somebody this age making this amount of money. Are you open?
That's what Amway friends would do too. Oh, they'll say I'm looking for a plumber in South Dakota. Oh, I know another 30-year-old electrician who's making this much money in Amway. You can do it too. And then, are you open? Are you open to getting more information about it? That's what Ray says too. Are you open to hearing more about this opportunity? If not, no big deal. They all act like saying, are you open? Are you open-minded to learn more about this business opportunity? They all say the same thing. They all coach on the exact same thing, but they think they're all the most innovative. Sorry, I couldn't remember. It's like, oh no, I ignored Anastasia.
Most people don't even think about that.
Right. So you're leveraging stories of
Others.
of others. Yeah.
People by people.
Yeah.
Leveraging stories of others, but not you. So are you telling us, even if we haven't made any money, we talk about how our upline is making a crap ton of money, how our sideline is rich. But what if we don't know anyone who has success in the business yet? Are you going to tell us to lie? Probably, sir. Probably.
And it's funny because I remember when I came to you, I was 21, 22, and I felt like I was too young. And you said, go recruit someone who's older than. And I was like, oh, how? And you were like, well, I come to you for different technology things. There are people out there who are going to want to join you because you know more about social media, you know more about the internet, you know more about technology. And then I leveraged the older stories when I was speaking to someone older, and you would leverage the younger stories, the people who come to the event who were younger as well. So you would get someone, again, you would do a Facebook post. Like, here's the strategy for the people listening, watching. You would make a Facebook post or an Instagram post or a story or whatever. Someone shows interest. You're going to say, hey, this is so great. I don't want to just send it on social media. I want to send it to you by WhatsApp. What's your WhatsApp number? Or here's my WhatsApp number. Send me a message and I'll send it through. That's step one. Step two, Bob messages you and you're going to send them the information. But you're also, step three, going to add them to your broadcast list.
Correct.
So you go into broadcast list, add members, Bob Jones, select, done. Now you have 17 people in your broadcast list. The final step is what you do with the broadcast. So what are you sending in the broadcast? Are you sending testimonials? Are you sending presentations? Are you sending videos? Are you sending images? What are you doing?
I will send
Interesting how when his dad was trying to recruit Frazer into the MLM, he's saying, well, I'm so young, Dad, no one's going to want to join me. And then Simon said, well, Frazer, just recruit older people, because he's right. Younger people may or may not know more about technology. Like Simon said, they may be able to help the older people in the MLM understand how to use social media, right? And older people may have had more experience in the MLM, may have been in different kinds of companies and have more knowledge to share than someone who's 25. So it's interesting how he's telling Frazer to leverage his specific skills to recruit those who are older than him. Oh, hi, I'm late. Hi, Demi. How's it going? Nice to see you. This is really simplistic. Like, wow, someone comments, we ask for their WhatsApp, they give it to us. We send them a message, we send them a video, a testimonial, a picture, and then we add them to our broadcast list. Groundbreaking. I now need to pay Frazer thousands of dollars to teach me how to be an MLM superstar. It's strange how these people praise their upline making more money than themselves, not realizing or ignoring the fact that money is coming from them. Brilliant. Brilliant and correct.
a 4-minute video.
So like do you do it once a week? Do you just do it now and again?
Now and again.
Because I remember, so what happens is when you send the broadcast list, a message to the broadcast list, it just sends them to everyone. And when someone replies, you get a notification on your phone. But you use WhatsApp on your computer, don't you? And for those of you who don't know, you can go on web.whatsapp.com. You can scan a code from your phone and you can have it on your computer, so you can just work from your computer. But I remember being at your home in Formby, amazing home, by the way, guys. Dream. You had many dream homes, but I would say the third, Philip's Lane was a dream home for many. You shared the story about your team leader coming around and being like, whoa, and you were like, we're just about to move. Regent's Field, Beaches Brook, that was in the paper. I remember, for those people who watch football, Kevin Keegan used to be the manager of Newcastle Football Club. And it was Newcastle and Manchester United in the Premier League going, and he made this famous quote. He said, I would love it if we beat them. I would love it. And on the front of the newspaper was him, and you were a separate article with the fact that you just bought this crazy huge mansion in Thornby. The third one was Victoria Road, which I share the dream home story about a lot. It was the dream home we designed as a family. And the fourth one is where you live now on the private golf course. There's only one house on the entire golf course, which is just unreal. 5-minute walk from the beach. And
if anybody listening to this, if you know anything about golf, how many of your contacts have got 3 red stakes on their property?
3 red stakes.
That's how close we are to the golf course.
Yeah, your garden is the out of bounds, basically.
Yeah.
So what I
Why is that a flex? Is it a flex to live close to a golf course? Why did we spend the last minute and a half? I'm keeping an eye on it because I'm trying to make sure I let it play for at least 1 minute to 2 minutes, so I'm not stopping it every 5 seconds. Why did we spend the last minute and a half talking about all of our dream homes? This is supposed to be business training. Instead, we're bragging about how wealthy our father is, how many dream homes he's made, how he lives on a golf course, which I'm not sure why that's exciting, that he has some red stakes near his property. That would not be nice because there'd be people all near my yard, and people could get drunk while they're golfing. They can be loud. I would not like that. For you guys, is that a flex to you? I don't understand. Exactly. I'm not praising someone making money off me. I would be pissed. Exactly. Great point. If someone offers to tell me about their wonderful business opportunity, I know right away they're trying to recruit me. A lot of people these days know that's what it means. Exactly. Exactly. We all know it. We all know it, friends. No, you're right, Monica. It's not. Would anyone like to live near a golf course? I feel like golf courses are pretty, so you might have nice scenery, but that's about it. The U.S. homes on private golf courses can be very expensive. Yeah, he's bragging. They're just trying to brag about how wealthy he is. Like he told us in part 1, sell the dream, build the team, right? And so by them bragging about how wealthy they are in their beautiful homes, they're just selling the dream. And where'd they get that from? Dexter, because Dexter would tell us to sell the dream.
Well, the reason why I say this is because I was in that house, a meter away from 3 red stakes, and all I heard was bing, 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 bing. Dad, what the heck's that? It says WhatsApp notifications. And I'm like, what do you mean WhatsApp notifications? Is someone really trying to get hold? Oh, no, I sent the broadcast out. And I was like, what? So you'd got all these people. How many are on those lists?
I've got thousands.
So because you just collected numbers.
Yeah.
So here's the question then. The internet gets wiped out. Have you seen the movie Avengers? You seen that with like Iron Man, Spider-Man, Hulk?
Yes.
Yeah, clearly wasn't that good for you because you were like, yeah. But in that movie, the Thanos, he clicks his fingers and half the world dies.
Okay.
Imagine if there was a social media Thanos, click, and social media died.
Mm-hmm.
It actually happened about 6 months ago, a year ago, where everyone was like, oh, it's not working anymore. It's not working anymore. And so you would be all right.
Yeah.
Because you have thousands of phone numbers.
Many thousands.
So the question I have for the people out there, how many phone numbers do you actually have? Because if they have none, their business is solely reliant on social media.
Correct.
So how can people do this system themselves?
Interesting how he's telling us we can't just rely on social media in case social media gets blocked or whatever. It doesn't work. When he tells us how to build a business on social media, that's his selling point. Literally. We're not going to look at this, but I knew it. Share this tab instead. Apparently we can't just rely on social media. Discover how I built a team of 300,000 customers using social media. All he talks about is social media. Using social media. Modern day proven strategies to social media growth. He's all about social media. So it's hilarious how he's telling us not to rely on social media when that's all he teaches on. That's funny. And he's saying, oh, you'd be fine, Dad, if social media got wiped out because you have your phone numbers. Sure, but if internet gets wiped out, he loses his thousands of phone numbers in his WhatsApp broadcast. So, Frazer, your father's business is still reliant on the internet. So if there's an outage, he's not working. And I don't like how Frazer's like, when social media crashed, it was about a year ago, saying people are all stressed out, and he's going duh, 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 and it's like, no, people were stressed out because they couldn't run their business, and it's a very valid concern. And I don't like how he's delegitimizing the anxiety that people were experiencing, because I bet you lots of these MLM distributors have hundreds and hundreds of DM conversations going all the time. That's where all their prospects are, in their Instagram DMs. If they can't get into Instagram, they don't have a business. Just like if Simon doesn't get into WhatsApp, he also doesn't have a business. And it's valid to be concerned. I muted my notifications. Oh my God, the pinging must be annoying, right? I have phone numbers saved in my cell phone. I text, so I need the actual number. That's a weird statement. This is all strange, man. I have an uncle that lives on a golf course in Maryland. Maryland? 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 How do you say that name? Maryland? Not Maryland. Did a lot of work as a project manager. No MLM involved. Wow. So you can live on a golf course and not be in an MLM. You could also live in a house you love and not be in an MLM. You can design a house and not be in an MLM. It's almost like you can make money in other ways other than an MLM. Thanks, Neil. You're right, though. You're right. I love that comment because it's so basic, but it's so true. And it kind of debunks everything that they're saying. Maryland. That's what I thought when I said Maryland. I was like, that's weird. Also, many of those old numbers might not be active. Exactly. And you get their number, and then you add the other numbers in front to make it a WhatsApp number. But what if those people don't use WhatsApp? What if they don't even have it on their phone? Not everyone has it.
How can they get the broadcast messaging working for them? Are you simply just posting anything on social media? You're in Dubai at the moment, so you're posting lots of photos.
Yeah.
In Dubai.
Well, that goes on my Facebook.
Yeah, that's Facebook. You don't use Instagram, TikTok. You got YouTube, but it's kind of unlisted. So you're all in Facebook because you find it the easiest for you to just do.
Okay, I'm going to share something with you. That's
no.
a little bit embarrassing. I didn't realize that IG was Instagram.
IG was okay.
I thought it was a different company.
There's a stockbroken company. It's so old school. It's great.
Of course, since Simon Brooks didn't even know what Instagram was, he's so old school. But look, he's still building in network marketing. He's still a multimillionaire. So if Simon Brooks can do it without knowing what IG means, then you can do it too, right? It's all such a focus on how different it was when Simon started building, how you had to mail things in, how you had to call people on the phone, how there was no social media, so it was so much harder to recruit, how the buy-in fee was so much higher. So if Simon could recruit people with £3,000 buy-in fee, then you can do it for 200. It's all about just comparing how it was in the late 80s. However, less people were in MLM in the late 80s. The knowledge of the scamminess of the industry was a lot less in the late 80s. So it was still easier, sir. It was still easier.
Oh, that's great. So you would post something, whether it's a photo or quote. People would engage, comment, right? Because you get people from time to time. Sometimes it's a lot, sometimes it's a little, right? If you then take photos with mom or with the dogs, or you do a video of your home and stuff, it blows up. You're then messaging those people, saying like, I've got something that you're going to love. Message me on WhatsApp and I'll send you the details. And by the way, my dad has possibly the greatest phone number in the world that a person can have. It's just, there's two types of people when he tells this phone number. You guys can get it. You just message him and I'll send it to you. But be warned, you will be added to his broadcast list, right? He does what he says he does, right? There's two types of people. The first type goes, no way, is that your number? Or, wow. The second person goes, okay, let me repeat it back to you. It's 0. And you're like, have you not got onto the fact that that was the greatest number in the history of phone numbers? Anyway.
And the funniest thing is, if I actually just say the number, it's more sexy. If I do it as a WhatsApp, it's not as good because you've got to go +4.
Yeah.
79, 73, 79, 73, 79.
There you go. There you go. You got his number. Yeah. You can pause it, rewind 10 seconds, and you can hear his number. And the thing is, you're very open to helping anyone, aren't you?
Why did we just talk about that? Why did we talk about how sexy his phone number is? It's weird. It's weird. I know they're father-son, they have a good banter, they have a good rapport, and that's lovely, but it's strange because this is a business training and it's an advertisement for Frazer's paid training. So you think he would want to showcase how brilliant his knowledge is of the industry, but we're not. We're just talking about his dad's phone number, his dad's house on a golf course. Exactly. It was not so saturated at that time. Exactly, Monica. I want him to actually call one of those old numbers and see if it still works. This is a name. Yes, I agree. All the chatter about the houses too, and now about the phone number. It's so silly.
Like he will pitch people.
Yeah. You're gonna know what I do, but that's
but then that's because you're a professional network marketer.
You're over 18. You can make your own decisions, live your own life,
right.
Wake up.
Right. Exactly. And if you're happy doing what you're doing, then great.
Yeah.
So
if you're happy doing what you're doing, then great. You're over 18. You can make your own decisions, live your own life. But if a plumber tells you that they're not interested in joining your MLM company, then it's because they're closed-minded and they're not open to changing their life. And you always follow up if someone doesn't call you back because probably they realize that they don't want to join your company. You don't respect that because they're over 18 and they get to decide how they want to live their life. No, you follow up because like Frazer says, the gold is in the follow-ups, plural. You have to continually follow up. And he was saying that his dad will help anyone. You message him, he will help you in MLM, I guess. But will Frazer help you? Or sorry, I get confused. Simon, the father. Will the father help you if you're in his company but not in his downline? I highly doubt it. If you're in another company and you're messaging Simon, I'm sure he would help you, not because he's just wanting you to succeed, but because he would want you to join his downline. He wants you in his downline so he can make money off of you. I agree with you, Anastasia. You're probably correct.
So you put a quote on Facebook. You can do the same on Instagram, TikTok, and all that fun stuff. Someone messages you or comments. You're messaging them. If they message you, great. If you message them, great. They then message you on WhatsApp. They're getting the information. A video. What do you have, like a 4-minute video, 4-minute video? Great. You add them to a broadcast.
Yeah.
And then every now and again, you're sending presentations
or
testimonials.
Could be testimonials. It could be income,
proof income,
be result driven.
So just anything really.
Yeah.
But it's never just like, hey guys, just check it. Like, hey Bob, hey legend, hey mate, just checking in. You're awesome. There's always a point.
No, what's the point of doing that? And it pisses me off, excuse my language, when people do that to me.
Past that point.
It's like, oh, hello, Simon. How are you today?
Yeah, dad's
off.
Yeah, so dad's very
direct,
very, very direct, to the point. There's no point in faffing around. You haven't got the time, because you haven't got the time for it.
No.
Because you'd rather build a relationship when someone's in.
Correct.
Right. And then other people do it different ways. So the assignment.
He doesn't have the time for messing around because he just wants to build a relationship with people who are in. No, he doesn't have time to mess around because he wants people to join his downline so he makes money. So that's why he's so direct, not because he just wants to develop a beautiful, strong relationship with you. No, sir. No, sir.
Assignment for people who are listening is to start implementing or start finding out how you can take the social media contact offline. What do I mean by offline? WhatsApp is still owned by Facebook or Meta or whatever. But when you have their WhatsApp number, you have their phone number.
Yeah.
So go back to the basics. Build, what was it called? A Rolodex? Was it a Rolodex of contacts?
You're going back decades and decades and decades.
Yeah, but everything goes full circle.
Well, yeah.
Right? So what was you saying before? You started customer. Then you went team member. Now the industry is customer again. And it has to go recruit. Yeah. It has to. Because what's happening now in the industry of network marketing, it's amazing to see all this data from my resources, is the number of customers is growing massively, but the number of people joining the industry is down. And as we know, there's a lifespan to the majority of people, right? You join, so if 100 people join today.
It's hilarious. He's like, from my data, customers are up, but people joining as distributors are down. What data Did you do a study of network marketing companies? How many were there? How many companies did you study? How did you analyze your data? You can't just say things and then expect us to believe it. And a few of you had said, this is so simplistic. They're talking like this is such valuable training when all you're doing is telling us to get phone numbers and put the numbers in front that turn it into a WhatsApp, make a broadcast list, send some videos or some information, and harass people on WhatsApp. That's all you're telling us to do. This is not groundbreaking, but you're making it seem like it's brand new. But we've heard people, I don't think I've heard WhatsApp before, but we've heard exactly the same training for LinkedIn. We heard LinkedIn training. We've heard Facebook training. We've heard Instagram training. This is exactly the same. And they're telling us to take our contacts offline. WhatsApp is online. Taking it offline would be a Rolodex, like Frazer just said, writing it down in a book. That's taking it offline. WhatsApp is not offline. Is WhatsApp a social, would WhatsApp be considered a social media platform? The major social media platforms at the moment are Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, TikTok, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, YouTube, and Snapchat. So WhatsApp is social media, sir. It's not any different. Can't imagine doing all that calling, messaging, all that wasted time and not spent with his family. Exactly. And imagine all that labor you're putting in and you're not making money unless someone buys or joins you. So there's all this unpaid labor of getting the number, of talking to people, getting the numbers, sending out the broadcasts, following up, and you're not going to make any money unless you're lucky. Yes, it's like a game to Dad. See how many people I can get. Did you hear him say thousands of people on his broadcast list? Outrageous. I wonder if they're truly as close as they seem here. If they really know each other, or do they know each other superficially? I don't see the bonding with the dad being consumed by the MLM. Oh, like you can't see how they would bond? Yes, okay. Let's see. Sorry, I misspelled. I don't see them bonding the way they should have with the dad being consumed by the MLM. Interesting points. Interesting. It's almost like the business model doesn't work and it isn't possible to have an actual in-depth strategy you can train someone on. It's just funny how they make it seem like it's so brilliant and life-changing when we've heard it countless times before. They just change it slightly. And it's hilarious hearing him say, don't just have a business based on social media when WhatsApp is a social media platform and his training is focused on building your network marketing business on social media.
A year from now, there'll be 20 left. So what's happening is the number of people.
Okay. What did he say? 34.
Lifespan to the majority of people. Yeah. All right. You join. So if 100 people join today, a year from now, there'll be 20 left. So what's happening is the number of people joining is low. The number of people who are quitting is the same. So the number of people who are left inside the network marketing space is a lot lower. But that's where it gets exciting for us. Yeah. Because as network marketers, as you in the field and me training, that for me, the people who are in. And for you in the field, there are less people in the marketplace.
Correct.
Who are out there. Yeah. So one thing I have to say, so again, guys.
How is turnover a good thing? Why are we going through this mental gymnastics? 100 people join in a year, 20 people are left. I highly doubt it's that much, but it's not a good thing for people in the field like Simon to have less people, because people keep quitting MLM. So Simon would have less people to recruit, because people who quit MLM because they realize it's a scam, they are not potential prospects for Simon. And less prospects mean less people in Frazer's coaching company. So I do not understand how this can be misconstrued as a positive thing. What do you guys think? Maybe I'm not getting it.
Your assignment is to figure out either using Telegram, because you can use a Telegram channel. It's not as good as WhatsApp.
I predominantly use Telegram for existing distributors.
Right, your team.
Yeah.
Right.
It's phenomenal for communication.
Yeah, it's amazing. Again, communication is the whole thing here.
Because you can get 20,000 on a Telegram group.
Yeah, so your team communicate as a group or as a channel on Telegram. But what content can you create? You're doing that anyway. You're going to learn a lot of that in future interviews. Then what are you doing to get them onto WhatsApp? what are you sending when you get them onto WhatsApp, and then what are you going to send when you get them in the broadcast. But it's very simple. You've shared it. When you get them on the WhatsApp, you send them your information.
Yeah.
Then you do your follow-up. Then you use the broadcast messages as an additional follow-up by every week. Follow-up Friday. Yeah. If you're like me and you need to have structure, every Friday, send a message in the morning. Hey, here's a testimonial I wanted to share this week.
Yeah.
Hey, here's a result that I got.
Well, it could be Monday Madness.
Monday Madness. You can do Friday and Monday. Heck, why not? And if people are like, stop sending me messages.
It could be Tuesday and Tuesday.
Yeah.
It could be anything.
You got loads.
Yeah.
You got loads. So what happens when someone goes, get me off the list?
Well, the benefit
Stop
is
sending me
with the
messages.
broadcast, they can't take themselves off the list. That's why I use it. When they're in, they're in. Or when they're on. They cannot remove themselves off the list.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like how Frazer's like, what happens when someone says, stop sending me messages? He's kind of downplaying the fact that people are frustrated that they're getting spammed on their phone and making fun of them by putting on that little voice and making that face. It's not funny. If people are not happy with receiving spam on WhatsApp, that's valid, and we shouldn't be talking down to people. And then Simon just said, well, they can never be taken off the list. They can't remove themselves. But sir, as an ethical business owner, if someone does not want to be receiving your updates, you should give them an option to unsubscribe, because they did not know, they did not fully consent to being added to a massive WhatsApp broadcast with thousands of people on it. They did not know that they were going to be getting followed up with at least one day a week on top of the other regular WhatsApp broadcasts you provide. So Follow Up Friday, Monday Madness. Wow, it's so exciting that you are naming days of the week based on follow-ups. That's so innovative. Bye, Lori. Thank you for hanging out. I really appreciate it, and have a good sleep. It's just so funny how they're making it seem like assigning specific days to follow up is brilliant, and it's unheard of. We've never heard that before. No, everyone says it. Everyone does. It's like two con men were left in an interrogation room together and started bragging about their cons. Right, Jolene? They don't respect boundaries. Thank goodness for the blocking options. Also, I can uninstall the app. So that's me saying bye-bye, dude. And in MLM, it's always like having a boundary is a bad thing. Hey, my boundary is I need to go to my kids' soccer games. Oh, well, you're not committed to your business. You're not willing to sacrifice. Oh, I don't want you to keep sending me messages. Oh, well, they're just being childish. They're just being closed-minded. No, it's a boundary, and as people, we're allowed to establish and maintain our boundaries. That's true. My little light fell. That's true. You can. You can. I do it all the time. And so, yeah, maybe if Simon's refusing to remove you from his broadcast, click the block button, click the delete button. Wednesday weirdness, right? Yep. Because it is weird. It's weird to follow up with people who are actively trying to ignore you on WhatsApp. It is a weird thing. It's probably an uncomfortable thing unless you are Simon or Frazer, who have been in the industry for years and years and who know that in order to be successful, we need to put aside our ethics and our morals.
That's what I love about WhatsApp.
As we wrap this up, thank you for doing this, because you're on holiday here. Technically, we're supposed to be looking after the baby.
Yeah.
She's 5 weeks.
Gorgeous.
No, she's
biased.
Yeah, you're back. She looks nothing like you, hence why she's very gorgeous. Very gorgeous. Can you say very gorgeous? You can't say that. But anyway, we're saying it here. Thank you for everything. Thank you because a lot of the people who are in this community and who follow me and read the books and stuff, they will know a lot about your story because I talk about your story every time. I think every point that I share has a story related back. And nowadays, because the hair's getting grey and the brain is not as fast as it used to be, it's all right. It's white. Yeah, I'm going on to a couple. Maybe it's the lighting. All right. Sometimes you have to pull the information out, right? Because it's when you have a million stories and a million trainings.
Sorry, he's going to go into a little bit of a tangent here, but notice how Frazer's baby is 5 weeks old. Simon is here in Dubai with his son, his new ass grandchild, and he's saying, I'm still focusing on my business, I'm still prospecting. Instead, I feel like if this is a true holiday, like Monica just said, we should be engaged with our family and our new grandchild. Where's the time freedom? Simon's been in since the late 80s. Why doesn't he have time freedom?
Thousands of keynotes. It's sometimes hard to remember them all. And that's why I'm so grateful. We've got this recording for life, and anyone and everyone can watch this as many times as possible. Before we go, what is something that you would like to say to the audience? What would you say has massively helped you? Because for me, you have mastered the art of separation in terms when everyone's taking a Saturday morning off, you ain't. When everyone's watching the football on a Sunday afternoon, you ain't. If the phone rings and you're at the dinner table, you're answering the phone.
While we're on that subject, I do have a phobia, and it really pees your mum off. And it's like, if my phone rings, I have to answer it. Not, I'll get around to it afterwards. Simon, dinner's ready. Dinner's on the table. Be there soon, love.
Why? I know why.
I don't want to miss a call. I don't want to let somebody down.
But if you go really deep rooted,
I don't want to miss a call. I don't want to let someone down. That's bullshit. He's going to say later it's about not wanting to miss out on a superstar, because you could miss a call and that person who was calling you to join your business could be the person who makes you $6 million a year because they have a downline of hundreds of thousands of people. And so he always answers his phone. Doesn't matter if it's dinner time, doesn't matter what he's doing. He's always answering his phone. Where's the family time? Where's the focused and engaged time with your spouse, with your children? Exactly. You are letting so many people down by constantly answering the phone. And yes, watch the football game. Watch it. I will watch every hockey game with my husband because it's important to us. It's something we enjoy doing together. I will not take a job that does not allow me to watch my hockey games. I'm okay missing a few here and there, but I need to watch my hockey games. Watch this as many times as possible. Once is too many times. I listened to this part 2 so many times today in preparation, and I was getting so bored. I was like, I can't do this any longer. If he's missing dinner time with his family in order to not let people down, isn't he letting people down? Do they not count? And I know parents can't always get to every single dinner. I know it's impossible. I know parents do their best to be at as many things with their families as possible. But if your spouse is really wanting you to sit down with the family, if your kids are excited to tell you about something, and you are not absolutely required to be away, you were not called in, you're not on a really important call that you have to address at that exact moment, or else people will be unsafe or hurt. If it's not absolutely required, you should spend a little bit of time with your family, even if it's 15 minutes. Spend a little bit of time and then go deal with your shit later. In my opinion, I don't know. I'm not a parent though. I'm not judging parents, but I just agree with the fact that, like, you answering your phone constantly during dinner could be letting your children down as well. I appreciate your sacrifice in listening to this so much. Thank you, Jolene. Thank you.
Beginning of this, you said you'd phoned 3 people in a newspaper, and all 3 of them went to voicemail.
Yeah.
You put the phone down. The 4th person answered.
Yeah.
And now you were in that person's business.
You could miss a superstar.
You were in that. So that's probably the deep rooted behind it. Here's the funny thing, guys, as well. The person that recruited my dad into network marketing ended up joining my dad's team.
Yeah.
So if you
he emigrated from North Wales to Australia.
Wow.
Perth,
amazing. So shout out to him.
I still speak to him sort of like on a daily basis.
35 years later.
Yeah.
36 in October, wasn't it? 36 years.
Yeah.
Wow. So what would you say to the people who are tuning in? They're listening to, they're going to get access to so many interviews. They're going to get access to an amazing community. They can share their wins. They can share what their bingo moments from this thing was. What's something that a lot of people listening in are probably either trying to get that shortcut, trying to get that secret, trying to get that strategy, but maybe it's something that's missing. Maybe
Again, he's just trying to advertise. Oh, you can join the community. You can talk about your bingo moments from this interview. He's always talking about bingo moments. The one thing where you just go, oh, I can implement that in my business too. Wow. I didn't have any bingo moments here. You told us the most simplistic, straightforward strategy of how to use WhatsApp to harass people. You told us to never take anyone off of our WhatsApp broadcast. You told us not to respect boundaries. You told us to always answer the phone. I didn't get any value. I don't have a bingo moment. Do you have a bingo moment? Do they expect people to just work 24/7 with no breaks, no nothing? That is the most asinine thing I've heard in my entire life. Agreed, agreed, agreed. I feel like I had something else I wanted to say, but I forgot.
It's a belief, maybe it's mindset, vision. What is it?
Belief is possibly one of the most important things, but you need to create a magnificent story. Now,
You need to create a story. What if you don't have a story? What if you don't have a traumatic upbringing? What if something bad didn't happen to you? What if you don't have something dramatic happen in your life? He's going to tell us how to get around that. He's going to tell us how to be so insincere. He's going to tell us how to be so fake that we have to construct a story to make us seem relatable to others who are also vulnerable.
For you to do that, you might need to go to your upline, or to your upline's upline, or to your upline's upline. Get to somebody that you can communicate with, and you can turn around and say to them, can you help me package a really good story? And if you haven't got a reason why you joined the company you're in now, you need to wake up and shake up.
Well, yeah, I mean, network marketers are professional problem solvers and professional storytellers.
Yeah.
And I will leave on this.
You're not problem solvers and storytellers. You are salespeople, which is fine. But you are salespeople who lie to bring people into an unethical business structure where you lose money. You're not a storyteller. You are not a problem solver. If anything, you make more problems for people, sir. And exactly, create equals fake. If it's our own story, if it's our own life, we're not creating anything.
Because for me, it was one of the funniest moments ever. So my dad is like, what'd you call it?
This is the most useless story. I might not have that much to say, but we're going to let it play because I don't want to cut it short.
Well, the dictaphone. You're kind of like a dictaphone in a good way. Whereas I can press play, and the story that comes out of the dictaphone will be exactly word for word your story.
We went to, is it Las Vegas?
Yeah, there we go, Grand Canyon, right? So we're in Las Vegas, and 3 of my top leaders are in the car, me, you, mum, and another top leader, right? Yeah. So all in the team, and we're one big family. We had something called the Leadership Advisory Board, where it's like an inner circle, and we'll talk about that in another episode. But we're very, very close.
Everyone has inner circles. Everyone has a leadership advisory board. You're not a one big family. They're your downline. Frazer, are they your family if they leave? Are you still going to care about them if they're not benefiting you financially? No. I don't have a story. Like, what exactly do they want us to say? I've never lived in a basement, so maybe he meant sob stories. The funny thing is, I live in a basement. A nice big basement apartment. 2-bedroom, lovely big bedroom, lovely big living room. We have a lovely house. Yeah, just because you're in a basement doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Oh, it's disturbing how they see no problem with this. And this whole story, it's pretty much, oh, Dad, you can repeat your story. You have it memorized. And he's like, I admire that. That's not something to admire. It just means he has a good memory.
And it's, by the way, it's a big minivan thing. So there's a lot of people in this car. We're not on the roof and in the boot. And we drive from Las Vegas Strip all the way to Grand Canyon. We have the day in Grand Canyon, living the dream life with all our friends and our family and our inner circle. And as we're driving back, your phone rings. I think you were in the front driving with Alan. Alan was driving. I think you were in the front. And you were doing a presentation. And your story was so word for word. Me, Sergey, Alan, Nesh, Mum, Caroline, all the people in the car.
Oh, Monica, I knew it. I knew what you meant. Don't worry.
We're literally saying your story as you were saying it, so much so that you should have just put it on speakerphone and let us do it, because we'd heard it so many times. So the classic, what gets repeated gets remembered, what gets remembered gets repeated, happened because you had this amazing story and you just tell it to everyone. Yeah. And I love that about you. So thank you for doing this. Thank you to
I love that you repeat your story all the time and that you memorized it, because you probably worked with your upline to package a brilliant story. And I wonder what the packaging of a brilliant story means. Is that exaggerating parts of your childhood to potentially make it seem more severe than it actually is? Is that lying? Is that using the story of your upline or your friend? Sorry, I have a runny nose. And packaging it up as your own. I wonder what that means. I've basically lived in a basement, but it's because it was in Montana and it was the easiest floor to keep warm. It was the easiest floor to keep warm. Is Montana cold? Like, is it cold in the winter? It's interesting that your basement would be warmer. I feel like basements are usually colder, right? I know that's not the point. We're almost done. I'll let it finish playing.
Everyone listening in, I hope there's something in value. If you can, comment and communicate, or maybe send my dad a message on what he'll probably want it on WhatsApp. Send my dad a message on WhatsApp or on Facebook. Go and follow him.
If you do send a message to me on WhatsApp, please can you make sure you let me know how we've connected?
There you go.
Oh, I've heard you and Frazer on an interview, but hey, don't just ask a message. Simon, what do you think is best for your favorite color or whatever? I don't do crap. Just to let you know. Now, you might think I'm brutal. You might think I'm
direct.
Yeah,
I
am.
I'll tell you this. Something I've learned and what I've appreciated about you, and we'll sign off, is in order to be a mentor, you have to sometimes be a tormentor. And you've tormented me over the years, but it's the best thing that ever could happen. You always said to me, Frazer, your biggest weakness will be that people are going to walk all over you. Yeah. And now I don't stand for any of it. And that's because of you and many other things. So I appreciate you. Thanks so much for listening. You're Guys, welcome. If you've been tuning in, do me a massive favor. If you're able to, comment down below. Let us know if you want to share it in the different parts of the community as well, to let other people know why they have to listen to this episode. I hope you got a few bingo moments. Hope you got a load of notes. And yeah, make sure you go and find my dad on Facebook. Don't bother with Instagram and stuff. Go on Facebook, send him a message.
You won't find me on TikTok.
And have an amazing day. See you on the next one.
Take care, guys.
No. Stop. Can you get rich with network marketing? I feel like we probably watched that one. So what do we think about to be a good mentor, you have to be a good tormentor? And oh, Dad, you've tormented me over the years. You told me to never take crap from anyone, and now I don't. Now I never take crap. It's weird because I don't think mentors need to be a tormentor. Coaches, mentors, like hockey coaches, teachers, they all have different styles. Some people may be more intense. Some people may be more encouraging, more loving, say, or like more patient. Some people may expect a lot from you. Others may be more flexible, right? I'm thinking about like my trainer at the gym, right? I was kind of worried about having a guy trainer, but then he's very encouraging. He's very patient and will explain things a bunch of times. And like, oh, do you need a refresher? Let me show you again. Let me show you this way. And he like understands how to communicate with me and knows that I would not do well with someone screaming in my face, with someone pressuring me, because I just wouldn't function. I wouldn't be able to lift anything up in the air if someone was yelling in my face. So what do we think about a good leader, a good mentor being a tormentor? I think that's strange. How boring it is to have to hear the exact same story over and over. Right, Lisa? I agree. Oh, it was an old house and the basement had more modern heating. Interesting. Cool, because my basement is like often quite chilly. Just because it's like colder in the basement. It's also cold outside right now. Oh, cringe, right, Monica? Right? Maybe a Dementor. I like that one. That's funny. Thank you, Jolene. Lick the stream. I'm so glad. This was so much fun. I'm thrilled that I have so many people here. Thank you for listening to my part 2 of Frazer Brooks. We've learned to answer all calls no matter what we're doing. We've learned to constantly prospect. We've learned to never remove people from our WhatsApp broadcast. We've learned to make up our own MLM story and potentially lie to make us seem more relatable to people who maybe have been through trauma in their lives. We've learned lots of great lessons that will help us make millions of dollars, and lots of bingo moments, like Frazer likes to say. That's all I have for now. I will may or may not go live again on Friday. We will see. I don't know what I want to do yet. Maybe another MLM for CEOs video, or maybe Beach Boss influencers, because I haven't done that much. I haven't done a video on them in a little while, right? Always fun with Frazer. We learn not to take the promised time freedom they like to promote so much. That's a good learning too, Monica. So that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you at my next stream. Bye.